I am live. I'm live. Hey, welcome YouTube. Everybody got your honey buns and your soups? You ready for some prison talk live? 2 soups and a honey bun. You want to hear that? You go to prison. It's always about 2 soups and a honey bun, man. Anyways, guys, looks like I even got a couple people in the room. I love you guys. We got MCSE 9073. I don't know how to say that any shorter, but thanks for being here. See what he said. Everything going your way? How is your brother? He says, hello. I usually get here just as you're ending. Well, now you got in the beginning. See, my brother, man. He got lucky. They're letting him do a year drug and alcohol treatment program, residential. And then he got 2 years probation. He bailed himself out, and he's still looking for a program to find that they accept. I think he's got, 10 days, 2 weeks left. He's got to turn himself into a drug treatment program. But once he gets there, I think he's going to be all right. He called me a few times, and we talked, and he's coming around. But he's got a bunch of drug and he's got a big drug, how should I say it? Struggles with drug addiction. And he knows it. And he's finally admitted that. And he's been clean and sober before. He's had a bunch of years clean and sober. And he was a good guy there, And I had been clean and sober before too. And then you relapse and you struggle. You go out there, man, and you go down that rabbit hole. It's hard to come back from relapses, because when you go back to that drug world, you're right back where you started. It's no like slow kind of thing. You fall right back in it, and it's hard to crawl back out of that hell pit into the real world. But I think he's going to be all right. I hope so. For today, he is. He said, my son is the same. All right. So I got a bunch of things I was going to talk about, but you know what? Anytime you guys ask me a question, we'll stop and we'll talk about that. You know what I mean? And I even got some emails and stuff to announce. I got good news. Jonathan, if you guys follow my channel here, he got out of prison Tuesday. He's at the halfway house in Massachusetts. I think it's outside of Boston. And he called me, and he's got a phone number. We've talked a couple times. He's going to come on the channel, but I told him you got to get permission from the halfway house to do things like this. You know what I mean? Because halfway houses are pretty strict. And if they know you're going on the YouTube channel talking about that, they're worried about what you're going to say about the halfway house. They don't really care about you, but they don't want you talking shit about their halfway houses. And halfway houses, man, the horror stories, guys. Horror stories. I just got back from Albuquerque, as you guys know, and met a few people that have been in that halfway house in Albuquerque. And it's nothing nice. They got a lot of problems. That Albuquerque halfway house has got a lot of management problems, big time. I know they got over 100 people in there. I think maybe it's a pretty big size halfway house, federal halfway house. I think they also have state prisoners there too. It's poorly managed, guys. And I don't want to secondhand hearsay and all that being said what it is, but my halfway house had a lot of problems too. I've seen guys get out of prison and 1 or 2 days in a halfway house, they're back in prison for violations. Coming in drunk, getting high, not coming in, being late, going somewhere else instead of work that they were supposed to go, or saying they're going on job search and hooking up with their girlfriends or whatever and getting caught, and just all kinds of reasons to get kicked out of a halfway house. Fighting inside. When you get to the halfway house, you're with the guys from the penitentiary. Yeah, there wasn't a lot of campers at my halfway house, and this was San Francisco, the Tenderloin district. A lot of bad dudes, a lot of child molesters in it too, man. The worst kind. Because I looked them up on the Amber list, Megan's Law. I looked them up on Megan's Law. Man, some brutal ones that held, kids hostage and kidnapped them and tortured them and raped them and all this stuff. And, like they're in the room next to you. You know what I mean? Sometimes they put you in the room with them. They tried to do that for me. I looked the guy out, went right downstairs. No, you know what you just did? you're moving me out of that room right now. And they moved me. But you got some mean people, some violent people in those halfway houses. And you mix them all up, and now they're out of prison. Some of them want to go straight, and they want to change. And a lot of the people in there for violent crimes, not necessarily mean and violent people, and now they're out of prison, and hopefully they find their way back into the world and do productive things with their lives. Some of them, man, they know they're going back to prison, and they don't care. You know what I mean? I've heard of guys in the halfway house go rob a liquor store first night there, come back, pocket full of money, counting it out in the lobby. And here comes the cops. They're so stupid. They just robbed the liquor store next door to the halfway house. Idiots. You know what I mean? And then walked right back in the halfway house. Crazy things like that, man. But Jonathan's in a halfway house. He's got his own room, he said. So he might be in a good one. He said the food is terrible. The food's the worst food. Halfway houses have a reputation. They feed you this. Ours fed us food from, I guess, that used to go to old folks' convalescent homes and stuff. The food tasted 3 days old. You know what I mean? It was just, just nasty stuff, man. Breakfasts were the best meal because you get like cereal or something, it's kind of hard to fuck that up. Although, we got, let's see, MCSE. I don't know what to call you for short. MCSE 9073. What can I call you for short? But it says relapse is harder to recover from because in a person's mind, it didn't work, right? Sure. Albuquerque police are famous for shooting mentally ill. Wow. I believe that. Sean, there is a movie, Flock, all about abducting girls and torturing them. There's a couple movies, God, I wish I could remember the name, about this human trafficking stuff going on. And especially with your border states, Texas, Arizona, New Mexico, even San Diego. They're bringing in these teenage girls from Mexico and selling them and using them. And, oh, man, here they thought they were going to get a job as a nanny and live the American dream, they thought, pay all this money. And sometimes their families pay to have them sent over here, and they end up just working in a motel room, having to have sex with 20 guys a day, and they're all brought home to some trap house where 10 of them sleep in a bedroom. You know what I mean? Barely, it's horrible. And I've seen a few movies about that. The sex trafficking stuff is horrible what's going on, man. And the media just won't talk about it. You'll hear a story here and you'll hear a story there. And, talk about that guy with Weinstein and all that, or Epstein, who's the guy with the island. The guy just hung himself or something, supposedly suicide. And that guy was going away for a long time. But Flock is on Amazon Prime. It says, I lived in Mexico for 11 years, had to leave because I have kids. Okay, sure. I don't know if Mexico's safe for kids anymore. That's all these kids are trying to cross the border into our country now, alone, without their family. And maybe how could you let your kids just go off to another country, unless it's so dangerous that they'd have a better chance getting this country. Anyways, that's a whole nother talk show. And but my heart goes out to them. I wish there was some solutions out there for stuff going on right now. Albie's in the room. Hey, Albie. Albie says, still waiting to hear where and when I will be going. It's nerve-wracking, the wait. Sentencing was 8/24. So Albie's waiting to find out where he's going to spend the rest of his life. No. Yeah, Albie, I can't remember how much time you got, but, you could tell the room there. And he was sentenced. Let me see here. Guys, I want to ask everybody out there on pretrial. You don't have to be on pretrial. But, hey, we got another person in the room. Extreme weather videos. My sentencing is this Monday for PPP fraud at 1:30. Maybe we can do a video after court. Love to, by the way. I self-report 30 to 45 days later. Don't know anything yet. Well, you probably so you're on your sentencing day. I got some videos out there about what to say to the judge. Check on my channel. Going before the judge. Practice in the mirror. Practice with some friends. Keep it short. Keep it sweet. But don't try to plead your case. You're already guilty. You're there to get sentenced. You're not there to fight your case or tell the judge how good you are. You're there to say, I'm sorry, I'm changing, and I want to change more. And, you know, please have mercy on my soul kind of thing. And you want to, you know, anyways, watch some of those videos. So you're saying you're going to self-report 30 to 45 days later. That's kind of up to the judge. Usually they're going to say 60 to 90 days because it takes a while to get your paperwork going. They can't really get you in and out in 30 days. They're moving slow. The feds are slow. So they might give you 60 days. If they give you 30 days to report, I don't know if that's enough time for them to determine where you're going to go. And I was going to talk today about designations because you can request where you want to go to for different reasons. Sometimes it's a medical reason. Sometimes there's programs and classes and things that only certain camps. I'm hoping you're going to a camp. Maybe you're going to low security. Maybe you're going to medium. But they all have different programs, different classes. Some have Unicor where you can work and you can earn like $300 a month while you're there. Some people are broke and they have no money, so they want to go to a prison that has Unicor where they can kind of go like make furniture, or they work on a dairy, they work on a farm. Anyways, they pay you $200-300 a month. Some guys want that. Some guys want to take vocational classes, culinary classes. There's dog service training programs. Only certain camps have them. There's RDAP, and, you know, they're not everywhere. There's no RDAPs in any camp in California. Some states don't even have RDAP. There's a lot of reasons why you request where you want to go. Could be your family lives out there. Could be you want to get as far away from your family as possible. And maybe this is dangerous for you to live around here. You know, maybe you have enemies in this state and you want to go to, you know, just send me to Alaska. You know what I mean? There's different reasons why you want to ask for your designation. And they'll normally, 90% of the time, they're going to grant it to you. If you don't ask for anything, they try to keep it within 500 miles of your sentencing area, your jurisdiction. See what we got on here. Matthew, hey, Matthew. Matthew says, PPP fraud. Yep. Extreme weather videos. I have been practicing all day. LOL. Short and to the point. Good. Good for you. Practice. But when you get extreme weather videos, when you stand before that judge, try to look him in the eye. Don't look down at your shoes. Don't scratch. Don't have your hands in your pocket. You know, don't be touching your face. I know, and sometimes it's hard to do, but try to look him in the eye. Hopefully let you take your mask off because, you know, the eyes can tell a story. You know what I mean? And the judge is going to be looking at you. So if you're looking down on the ground and, you know, your body language, the tone of your voice, Your Honor, your magistrate, how are you going to talk to the judge? You know, if it's a horse, hey, judge, Your Honor, I'm so sorry. You know, there's different ways. I'm sure if you've been practicing, but you know, you want to look him in the eye. He's giving you his undivided attention right now. So, and keep it short, as you know. He doesn't want to hear a 20-minute speech about all the awards and all the good things you've done for the world. No, this is the guy that's going to send you away to prison. So this is the last guy that you're going to talk to before you go away to prison. So, you know, you can't talk your way out of prison. It's too late for that. So this is where you want to take accountability for everything you've done. You know what I mean? Convince the judge that he's sentencing people every single day. 10 years, 20 years, 2 years, probation. What makes you any different from all these other people? How do you stand out? Why should he go easy on your sentence? You know, and it's a big deal. It's a big deal. So if you're honest, speak from the heart, look him in the eye, give him the respect that he is wanting from you. Whether you respect the judge or not, you need to show him that you respect him. And you know what I mean? Speak from the heart. And you know what I mean? Don't blame anybody but yourself. At this point of sentencing, you can't blame other people. If you're still holding on to blame to other people, man, you know, it's not going to come out what you say, what you want. You probably shouldn't even talk. You got to get past that. You got to work past that. And I know it's not easy. Some guys takes their whole prison sentence to work through that. Some people get out and they're still blaming others. You know what I mean? The blame game is, you got yourself there. I know sometimes you don't think, no, I just worked at this office. I had nothing to do with anything. So you turned the other cheek. You looked away. You didn't want to get it. Well, then you did it too. I mean, at the end of the day, man, you got yourself there. And I know that's not easy for us to admit, but let's see what else we got on here. Camp. Oh, it says camp. Good. You're going to camp. Welding is a good thing to learn. Yeah, and they have welding. They have welding training now, and even with certificates. So when you get out, you can get a job. You got to call around. So you got to go on the BOP.gov website. Now, BOP stands for Bureau of Prisons. GOV that's government. Any kind of .gov is a government website, and you go to under their locations. And there's a whole list of prisons all over the country. They even have a map. You can look on the map or by the name, and you got to read about each one. And you got to open it up. And some will have a medium and a low and a camp. And you find the camp or the low, and you open it up and you want to read the handbook, the guidebook, and there's a thing called a PREA report, where that's PREA has something to do with the rape. But then once a year they come and they do this long report about the prison. And if you read the PREA report, it'll talk about other programs and stuff in there. And you read everything about these. And if you have questions, you call up the camp and you ask whoever answers the phone. Do you still have the dog training program? You know, do you still have the welding class? Do you have the solar panel class? You know, do you have the plumbing class? Do you have the carpentry? Do you have any apprenticeship programs there? Because some of these websites are old or they're not updated. I mean, it's a government website. It's not old, but they don't always update it. It's out of date. And then with the pandemic going on, a lot of these programs are closed right now. You know, my lighting's better. Let me hold on and fix my light here. That's too much light. Let's see. Maybe if I turn it off, turn off the light, maybe. Yeah, turn off the light for now. Oh, it's the sun. All right. Anyways, I'm in the dark, but it doesn't look dark here. So let's see here. Extreme weather video says my attorney is asking for 12 months and a day. Good. That's good. You want the extra day, because if you only get the 12 months, you got to do 100% of the time. If you get 12 months in a day, you do 85% of the time, and you'll actually they'll take 2 months off your sentence. And normally you get a month halfway house time with a year and a day sentence. Although Jonathan, who just got out Tuesday, they gave him 3 months halfway house time. He had a year and a day sentence. He got his 2 months good time and 3 months halfway house time. That's a total of 5 months early release. He did 7 months on a year and a day sentence. And hopefully the halfway house will let him come back on the channel here. But I did a couple of interviews with him. Go to my channel, scroll down on the videos, look for Jonathan. I think I did 2 videos with him before he went in. One on pre-trial, one on his allegations, his personal narrative to the judge. And then we did something right after he got sentenced. So there's a video with him before he got sentenced, after he got sentenced. Now he's out of prison. He's going to come on and tell you all his stories. Let's see what's next here. Or home confinement for 6 months. Oh, your attorney's going to ask for a year and a day or home confinement for 6 months. Yeah, we all went that home confinement, guys. Oh, man. Sorry, my phone's ringing. Not now. That home confinement, guys. I know everybody wants home confinement. And where do I start with home confinement? So they don't normally give you home confinement as a sentence. Let me give you an alternative to all that. You can ask for your sentence to be served at a halfway house. And then you want to choose a good halfway house. You would have better luck or a better chance of getting your time served like 6 months halfway house time instead of 6 months home confinement. And when you get to the halfway house, then you can go to home confinement from the halfway house. Normally, that's what you do anyways. So home confinement, you never go straight home. You, like when you get out of prison, you think you got home confinement time. You got to check in at the halfway house. Sometimes the halfway house is full, and they're going to let you spend a weekend, do an orientation there, and you go to halfway house. Go to home confinement. But they have their own like halfway house coordinator. It's like a probation officer that works for the halfway house. Now, this is not a federal probation officer, but this is a halfway house officer of the courts, so to speak. He's the guy that's going to check. He's going to go to your house. He's going to put an ankle bracelet on you. He's going to call you every 2 hours. And if you don't answer the phone, he's calling the marshals. They're going to come and get you, and they're going to send you back to prison. This is the guy that's going to come and drug test you. He's going to show up at 3 in the morning. He's going to call at 3 in the morning. If you got a job, he's going to show up at your job. He's going to talk to your boss. And it's going to tell you, it's going to make sure your boss knows that you're just out of prison. Did Michael tell you that he's still in federal? He's still serving time under. You see, even halfway house time, you're still serving your prison sentence. And any employer you have has to know that you're serving time right now, that you are in custody. And so these guys at the halfway house, man, they're going to show up at your job, talk to your manager, whoever. If you work at a restaurant, they're going to walk right in with their badges, whatever. Talk to your boss, your manager on duty, whoever, and ask how you're doing, and make sure that they know that you told them that you are, in custody. So it's embarrassing where you work, but they're gonna. And so halfway house time home confinement time. It's not always what you think. You need permission to go to the store to buy groceries. And hopefully you have a car, but you can't just go in and out of your house and all. It's not like probation. They're going to make your house like a jail. And if there's an ounce of alcohol in your house, you're not going to be able to live there. If you going back to your wife and she likes to have a couple glasses of wine every night, she can't have that no more while you live there. Okay, so whoever you're living with, they also have to change their lives around you. So home confinement is always not as sweet as it sounds, guys. Let's see here. And then he says, I am scared to death, so nervous. I appreciate the advice. My mother-in-law ratted on me, but I did the crime and lied on my loan application, put more income than I make. So I do the time. I take full responsibility. There you go. Hey, Vince, I just saw you in the room. Hey, Vince. Vince, you can reject halfway house. I'll get to you in a second. Guys, I want to announce next Sunday, 4 p.m., starting Pretrial Anonymous. This is right up your alley, guys. So this is just a support group, okay? It's not for AA or Narcotics Anonymous, but we're going to use their steps and their kind of a little bit of their format. So it's going to be on Zoom, 4 o'clock Sundays. And so I got a speaker all lined up. We're going to do speaker discussion. Somebody will talk for 10 to 15 minutes who has been through what you've been through, all in pretrial. I got Tom Keesing. He's maybe watching right now. I did a video with him out of Albuquerque. Tom said he would back me on this. So I'm going to have Tom talk for 10, 15 minutes about his experience on pretrial. His experience, strengths, and hopes. The good, the bad, the ugly. And then we're going to open it up for discussion, okay, on a Zoom room, okay, on a closed Zoom room. And if you want the Zoom link, you need to email me, you need to call me, you need to leave a comment down below, text me, and I will give you the Zoom link. And hopefully this support group will take off. You can have your family come on too, whoever, if you've already been through prison, we need you. Help these guys out. Guys, this is what we do. Pay it forward. So, and every week I'm going to try to find a different speaker, somebody who's been through this whole thing. Even some of you that haven't, actually turned yourself in yet. But if you're getting ready to get sentenced and you've been on pretrial 2 years, you can help the guy who just started, who just got indicted. You know what I mean? Maybe you just got sentenced and you're waiting to turn yourself in. Or you can help the guy right before you that's about to get sentenced. So this is what a support group's all about, to help each other, guys. So every Sunday, 4 p.m., that's California time. That would be 7 o'clock on the East Coast. Alabama, I think maybe that's 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, but 4 p.m. Sunday. So if you want the Zoom link, it's going to be an hour meeting. Email me, call me if you want. I'll even put my number up right now so you don't have to look on the I'm going to put my phone number up here and see, this is the kind of guy I do. How many people on YouTube put their real phone number? But I don't have haven't had problems with trolls or nothing. Anyway, that's my phone number, guys. You text me. I will. There's Tom's in the room. Hey, Tom. So we're going to start this pretrial anonymous. Yes. First step, admission. So you want to admit that you're powerless over your criminal charges filed against you, and it's made your life unmanageable. Not necessarily admitting guilt. You're just powerless over the criminal charges filed against you. Okay. And there's other steps like your shortcomings and your character defects. We need to remove those. We want to make you a better person. There's a whole thing about amends. And amends is not just an apology. I'm sorry I did it. I won't do it. They've heard that all their lives. Amends is actually, going that step further after the apology. What can I do to make this right? The last step is helping helping others, giving it back, paying it forward. And you know what I mean? And you can do that to your family. I know a lot of you have hurt your families. I'm going to talk about families in a minute. That's where I got a book here called Family Arrested. Family Arrested by AnnEdenfield. She is the founder of Wings for Life. I'll be talking about that. They have offered me a job and I'm accepting. It's in New Mexico. They want me to head up their Wings Works project. I'll get to that in a minute because I see there's questions up here and stuff. So and I'm going to keep plugging this pretrial anonymous, guys. Text me. I'll give you the Zoom link, and it'll be next Sunday at 4 p.m. Good support group while you're waiting prison time. You know what I mean? And hopefully we can help each other. And you can keep it anonymous. You don't have. It's a Zoom meeting. You want to put a picture of a kitty cat up there, and John Smith is your name. You can do that. If you want to put your, you can on Zoom. You can also have your face in the video. It's going to be completely up to you. But this is a good support group. I did want to record it and put it on YouTube for others to watch so they can get something out of it. So that's why if you want to put a picture of a kitty cat or something in a fake name, that's fine. But, feel free to, ask questions while you're there. Let's see where I was at here. People are coming in the room. I like it. MCSE 9073. I went to a 3/4 way house, which was less restrictive. Halfway house, 3/4 way house. Yeah, which was less restrictive. All right. I get it. That's funny. Vince says, Sean, can I reject halfway house even if I completed RDAP? Oh, so you can reject halfway house. But if you completed RDAP, part of RDAP is called TDAP. It's like transition aftercare program, something like that. So you got to do at least 4 months of aftercare, and that's twice a week. You're going to meet one-on-one with a counselor, and then you're going to meet with a group. My group is maybe 8 to 12 people, and these are hour meetings. Now, some people were on home confinement, and they were able to come and do their aftercare. So I'm thinking, yes. Here's what I'm thinking. You can do it from home confinement, but you're supposed to complete this while you're still in custody, because it's an in custody program. You know what I mean? Because once you're at the halfway house and your time is up for your, well, the reason RDAP gives you it sent you to the halfway house for 6 months early, because you have to complete the aftercare while you're still in custody. So I know that there is one way to do that. They have some aftercare while you're in prison that actually counts, because some guys, the halfway house is full. They got their something, they they got a shot. They got to do extra time in prison. You don't want to do it that way. Now, forget that. I'm not even going to plant that idea in your head. But I know you can do it from home confinement. I don't think you can reject the halfway house time. So if you reject the halfway house time, then you'd have to finish it at the prison. But when you get to the halfway house, you can switch over to home confinement. And normally what you got to do is you get a check-in at the halfway house. The first week there, they're going to give you a 4-hour pass. If you come back and drug test and everything's good and you're not late coming back, they're going to give you an 8-hour pass next week. And you go off for your 8 hours, you come back, you pass the drug test, you're not late. They're going to give you a overnight pass. You come back from the overnight pass the drug test, you're not late. They're going to give you a whole weekend pass. Come back from that, everything's good. And now you can stay permanently on halfway house time. Permanently on home confinement. So, and other halfway houses are full and they let you go straight to home confinement. So I would apply for home confinement through your case manager at prison that works with you with the RDAP. He's going to be assigning you your halfway house. He works with RDAP. Tell him I want to do home confinement, but you can't wait till you're released day at prison and just be straight on probation and finish the aftercare. So Vince, you got to make a decision. If you're doing more than 3 years, you get a year off in the RDAP and you get 6 months early release to halfway house time. That's 18 months you don't have to do in prison. And you get to the halfway house, push for the home confinement, try to get it out there as soon as possible. That's what I suggest. MCSE says, NAAA, OASA all use 12-step. Yeah, there's Gamblers Anonymous, Overeaters Anonymous. There's Debtors Anonymous. There's Sex Addicts Anonymous. There's Chocolate Sugar Anonymous or something. Caffeine Anonymous. Nicotine Anonymous. And now there's Pretrial Anonymous. Let's see here. What else we got going here? Bill in Congress now, if it passes, free community college. Right. Yeah, they want I've heard about that. Free college, free housing, free money. Everybody entitlement. Yeah. Amends to fix the damage, like paying back money. Right. My sponsor told me to the women I would make amends by not ever bothering them. Yeah, you can. Sometimes you don't want to call up that ex-girlfriend and tell her that you were, you were screwing around with her best friend, because now you've hurt her more. You brought up, you don't talk to them anymore. As part of making amends is you don't want to, unless it injures them or others. You know what I mean? So yeah, you're not going to call your ex-wife and say, the whole time I cheated on you, but I want to say I'm sorry. Gee, you just opened up a whole can where you just ruined her. That's not an amends. So you got to be real careful. Amends, I had to return some oil field tools. Sometimes you have to pay money for an amends. Sometimes it's something else. I had to tell a guy I cut his tires and pay him money. Right. You're right. I've made a lot of amends, and, especially with the family that I don't owe money to, but I can't tell them, look, I'm sorry I went and used drugs again and let you down and all. They've heard that all. Some of it's just done by living amends, by doing the right thing, by finally getting off the drugs, by stop doing crimes, by stop criminally thinking, by paying it forward, helping other people. It's living amends, things we do. I'm going to turn my light on here. All right. Okay. I don't know if the lighting's bad or not. All right. So Pretrial Anonymous next Sunday, 4 p.m. Call me, email me, text me, leave a message under any of the videos. I get them. I will give you the Zoom link. Please, I hope you guys can show up. So I'm going to talk about this book, Family Arrested by AnnEdenfield. So it's a good basic starter book. It's got a lot of information about hiring an attorney, sentencing and prison records. I'll see here. How to Survive the Incarceration of a Loved One. So this book is more for the family of somebody getting incarcerated. So let me tell you the story behind Ann. She's the founder of Wings for Life, and she's the one who offered me this job, this career, this whole change of life thing I'm about to do. 25 years ago, her husband got sentenced to federal prison camp. He was an airplane pilot, and I think he was smuggling drugs, if I'm not correct. And when he went to prison, he left his wife, he left Ann and her 4 children high and dry with bills to pay, rent to pay, a mortgage. Ann had worked at a church as a youth minister, and when the church found out about her husband being in prison, they didn't want her at the church. They didn't want her. She lost her job. Her kids had to go to different schools. They got bullied. They got cyber. Today kids get cyber bullied. Oh yeah, your father's in prison. Your mother's in prison. These kids get bullied every day. As it is, right? And now they got to walk with this walk of shame. Your neighbors and people you work with, your friends, your family. They don't want nothing to do with you no more. Even if it's not you, it's your husband going to prison or the wife going to prison. Oh, you married that guy that's going to prison. There's this whole shame thing that goes on. And Wings, so she started this foundation called Wings for Life to help out these families that are left behind. Because when you go to prison, man, you not just leave the family high and dry with the bills, you leave them with all that shame that you caused them. You know what I mean? And it's not always easy, and they go, you know what I mean? It's really hard. It's really hard, especially on the kids. So Wings for Life helps the families of the incarcerated. Now she's helping the incarcerated people too, and that's where I come in. Right now they're giving away bikes. They got 100 bikes or something. They're giving away to all the kids of families. So while I was in New Mexico, I talked to a friend of mine I did time with in Florence, Colorado, he got out of the halfway house 3 months ago, and we had a good long talk, and hopefully he went over to the Wings office, give he's got a daughter, I think she was 12 years old. They're going to give her a bike and a bunch of other help, and he's got a woman that waited for him while he did his time. But he's struggling right now, and he needed somebody to talk to like me. I came along just at the right time. He just started a job. It's only $11 an hour. He had a job for $20 an hour while he was in the halfway house, and the halfway house made him quit that job. And the halfway houses can do that. If they don't like where you're working for whatever reason, he gave me the reasons why, and I know what he's talking about. Halfway houses are not always easy to live in, and the staff there is not always easy to get along with, because the staff can make one phone call and have you thrown back in prison. You get in bad with a staff member, they can make something up. They can just give the marshals a dirty pea cup that's somebody else's and get you. They can set you up and have you thrown back in prison. You almost got to kiss their asses, walk on eggshells to the staff at a halfway house. I hate to say it. I'm sure they're not all bad. There were some good guys, some good staff members at my halfway house that helped me out, and there were some other ones that should not be working there. That's the way it is. So, anyways, let me show you some more things there. Wings for Life. They're doing. They do family days. Wings for Life, family days. They get the family together, family of the incarcerated. And Ann goes around to prisons, hooks the families up, brings all kinds of goodies into the prison, and has games and activities and stories and shows they put on and plays and singing and music and all the stuff she brings in. They make a whole family day out of it at prison. And then the families, while they're out, she has a big Monday night town hall meeting, and everybody has these tables, a big family dinner. Speaker, music, entertainment, and all the families of people that have loved ones in prison get together, and you know what I mean. And that's just one of the few things they do. Wings. Tom's in the room. He can tell you more. Tom volunteers for Wings for Life. Tom just got off probation. Good for you, Tom. He's done he's done the whole circle. Tom did the whole circle. Got indicted, years of pretrial, got sentenced, surrendered, did the prison time, did the halfway house time, did the 3 years probation. It's finally over, huh, Tom? Or is it? Or is it? Oh, wow, let's see here. I got some more stuff to read here. MCSE is in the room for sure. Let's see here. Last thing. A friend of mine, a pilot, spent 3 years in Mexican prison. Ooh, wouldn't want to do a Mexican prison. He slept in a tent for 3 years. When a family member gets busted, the police start looking at the rest of the family. Good, yeah. Good point. Good point. It's true. I worked in a rehab for adolescents. The kids are tougher than I think. Sean, I did 10 years probation. 10 years probation. Woo! Man, 10 years probation. It's, I mean, you're only on this planet a short time. 10 years probation, prison time, all that. You don't get it back. You don't get it back, Guys need to think about that. Who haven't been to prison. Or, you know what I mean? Or if you're getting sentenced and you're going to prison, make it the last time you go to prison. Might be the first time, and make it the first and the last. Don't give up on yourself. I know most of these people watching my channel are doing less than 10 years. I don't think anybody that's facing a life sentence is going to be watching this because they don't let you out on bond. They're going to keep you, unless a $10 million bail maybe. But people facing 20 years or more usually are locked up, detained until the day of their sentencing. They don't get the luxury like you guys, and I don't want to use the word luxury lightly, of being out before you get sentenced to go to prison. Fahad is in the room. Got sentenced on Thursday, 31 months, 3 years probation. Fahad, okay, 31 months. Fahad, is that good or bad? Is that good? I don't know what you were hoping to get. Government got rejected the enhancement. Okay, 31 months. So we'll do the math here. And MCSE was for selling meth. Okay. Was expecting 7 years. Okay, so that's a good outcome, Fahad. You was expecting 7 years. You got 31 months. That's 2.5. I mean, that's 2.5 years. Yeah, 30 months is 2.5 years. But yeah, 31 months instead of 7 years. Okay, Fahad, way to go. I don't know. I know we've talked or chatted and stuff. I don't know. Did you get the RDAP or are you RDAP qualified? Do you know, Fahad? Well, let's do your math. So you get 2 months off for every year. So that's 2.5 years. You're going to get 5 months good time taken off. No RDAP. Okay. So 31, you're going to get 5 months taken off for your good time. That brings it down to 26 months. You can get probably 3 months halfway house at least, although they're giving out more depending on where you go. Yeah, 26.5 months with good time. So okay. And you'll probably get at least 3 months halfway house time. That's 23 months. You are going to be there long enough to maybe get a couple extra months shaved off for some of those first act programs. You're not going to get credit for those till you've been there for 18 months. And then they've got to resubmit your out day to the halfway house time and calculate your earned time credits for halfway house time. One comment about ARNA, really tough to make it without working the 12 steps. Thank you. Yeah, those 12 steps are important. That's why I'm hoping those 12 steps are designed for living, guys. So this pretrial anonymous, I'm hoping that we can all help each other work these steps just to the best of our ability. There's no right way or wrong way to work the 12 steps. You should write, you know what I mean, as long as you're working them. Fahad says, out here in Dallas, the holding cells were so full they couldn't take me in immediately. So have to surrender in 30 days. Okay, now the holding cells, So you mean they were going to remand you? Is that what you're saying? They didn't originally want to let you self-surrender. Sounds like you're saying that. So instead, the cells were so full in the holding detention place, so they're going to let you self-surrender. So Fahad, when you self-surrender, it's -3 points off your in-custody level points. Your in-custody level points determine whether you go to a camp, a low, a medium, or a penitentiary. So Fahad, do you know if you're going to a camp? And yes, they wanted him. Oh, they wanted to remand you. That's probably not a camp then. I don't know if you're going to a medium then or a low. You wouldn't be going to a medium. They don't let people self-surrender to a medium. I heard one guy say they did. But sometimes a camp is next to a medium, and you get there and you have to go to the medium to check in, and they might even hold you for a couple of days in the shoe in the medium, especially if you show up on a Friday, and then Monday they'll take you over to the camp. Let's see what he says. Holding. Fahad says, hoping for bad trip camp in Texas. I was in Denton County. It was full as well. Fights would break out. I was on the floor. It was terrifying. Bastrop near Austin. Okay. So you're looking at about 2 years, Fahad. Hopefully they give you 6 months halfway house time and home confinement and all that. But with the 26 months was good time, and then 3, 4, 5, 6 months halfway house time. It's going to depend on the camp where you go, your case manager. If the halfway house is full, there's a lot of variables. So you'd be less than 2 years. Yeah, less than 2 years. Not much, but less. Better than 7 years, right, Fahad? Better. 2 years is better than 7 years. And it's going to go by quick. 2 years is easy, man. It's easy time. I mean, I can say that because it was for me. I know Tom's in the room, and his years, it went by slow for Tom. Tom didn't have a good time in prison. He, not that he had a bad time, but he didn't like being in prison. And I had some good days in prison. I don't know what to tell you, man. I met some fun people. We laughed and joked around and used humor as a way of getting through it, and tried to make the best out of a bad situation. Fahad says, yes, they wanted to take me. Where was it? Okay, Bastrop Camp. Hell yeah, brother. Better than 7 years. That's right. Excuse me. Let me drink some tea. I made my reading list. Your reading list, you mean books you're going to read while you're in prison? Is that what you're talking about? I had to have a paper signed in AA for 7 years. 7 years. Speaking of books, just want to plug this book, Family Arrested. If you go to wingsforlife.org and you call Ann, she'll send you a book. I think she wants a $25 donation. Underneath all of my videos, there's links for the Wings for Life International. You guys getting ready to go into prison, you might want to have your family, your kids, your wife call Wings for Life. The numbers underneath all these videos, and they can help you out. They can help out your family while you're going to prison. They got a lot of resources and things they can help your family out with. So your family's not stuck here alone. Because it's, while you're going away, if you have any family, there's help for them too, okay? Help for them too. Let's see. I've had papers. Oh, extreme weather video. Have you heard anything about FPC Yankton? Oh, I've heard things. I can't remember what they were. I have heard things about Yankton, but I don't remember. Tom's in the room. Tom, if you can answer these guys, unless he left the room, what do you know about Yankton, Tom? Fahad says, Amazon wish list for books. Oh, okay, great, Amazon. Yeah, see, if you're getting ready to turn yourself in, you can pre-order your books. They have book clubs, or like maybe you join. Who's the horror? I'm trying to think of the. Anyways, Stephen King book club. And whenever he writes a new book, they send you one, or whoever your favorite author is. or there's topics. There's, you know, the romance novel book club, the sci-fi book club, the Western book club. And whenever new books come out, they automatically send you them. All kinds of things like that. Family programs, Al-Anon, ACOA. Yep. There's Naranon, Al-Anon. Adult Children of Alcoholics is what ACOA stands for. Yeah, I guess you're familiar with the world of recovery. So I hope you can make this pretrial anonymous meeting, MCSE, next Sunday at 4 p.m. You know, to send me an email or text or something. I'll give you the Zoom link. I'm going to try to push this meeting all week. And as long as we get a few people to show up and we grow from there. Okay, guys. Can we smoke in a camp? I need my cig. LOL. I like this question. Now, yes, you can smoke in a camp. Legally, no. But I'm going to tell you, camps are kind of loose on that. Camps don't have fences, so they don't rely on a guard to sneak things in. All the other prisons, your low security, your medium security, your penitentiary, your supermaxes, all those guys have to depend on a visitor bringing it in, or shoving it up somebody's ass, or some guard bringing it in, some officer or something, right, to get it in. Camp, there's no fences. Okay, some camps people just go to the store, come right back. Other camps, they go to the side of the road and pick something up. I'm not telling you any secrets that nobody doesn't know in a camp. But in my camp, it was about $40 for a pack of Marlboros, or Newport, or Cool, or Camels, but $40 for a pack of real cigarettes. I've seen them go up to $100 a pack when it's dry, when it's drought, when things aren't getting in and out of the camp. $2-3 for a single cigarette. The hardest part is trying to hide it. You buy a pack. You get caught with a pack of cigarettes, good chance they're going to send you to the shoe and give you a big shot, and you might not come back to the camp. Although I've seen a lot of guys get caught with a pack of cigarettes and they got written up, but no damage. Now, our camp, normally we get extra duty pulling weeds for 2 weeks if you got caught with a cigarette. Or we had to clean all the bathrooms for a few days. A couple of the COs made us do push-ups. I got caught and I had to do 50 push-ups. And they were laughing at me because it was hard for me to do 50 push-ups. And that was my punishment for getting caught with a cigarette. Although there's once in a while you get a officer from the penitentiary that wants to get some overtime hours in. So he's working at the camp that night. He catches you with a cigarette. He's going to lock you up in the shoe and take away a month of your good time, because that's what he would do at his penitentiary prison. They're not so lenient with the campers, the guys that work overtime at the camp from the other places. They're not all nice guys, but normally there's a lookout, and normally people only smoke at night because there's only 1 or 2 people watching the whole camp, and they're in another building and somebody's staring at that door. The minute they walk out of the door, they're screaming. They're telling everybody all the poker tables are put up and everybody's running and scattering. And anyways, that's the lowdown on the cigarettes. If you can, stay away from cell phones. And I don't recommend you break any rules when you go to prison, guys. But cigarettes, it's a hard habit. It's very addicting, man. Very addicting. So I understand. I'd smoke maybe 1 cigarette a day because they're $3 a piece, and I didn't have a lot of money. But, yeah, I did do that. I wasn't a perfect angel. Let's see who else is in. What else we got going here? Damn, $40. $40 is cheap. I'm going to tell you, man. $40 for a pack of Marlboros. You go to a penitentiary. You know how much a pack costs in a penitentiary? It's about $20 a cigarette if you could find one, and they'll sell you one. It's 20 cigarettes, and it's about $500 probably for a pack of cigarettes in the penitentiary. Yeah, easy, man. If you can find them, they usually just have rolled up tobacco and stuff and chew that somebody spit out and picked up off the ground and they made a cigarette out of it. They don't get the good stuff like a camp. Man, that's tough. Do they prescribe the patch to help since it's not allowed? No, they don't. They don't have the smoking sensation. No gum, no patches. I asked first day there. No, they don't care. High and dry. Don't come back to prison. That's their answer. You don't like it here, don't come back to prison. Can I order cigs from the commissary for cheaper? No, they don't. 10 years ago or 12 years ago, they used to let you smoke in federal prisons. The state prisons stopped it like 20 years ago. I think there's some state prisons actually still let you smoke. But no, you can't order cigarettes off commissary. It'd be nice. Cigarettes hard to break. Yeah, they're hard to break. Hard to break. All right. Also wanted to talk about, it's going to talk about Wings Works program. So, guys, I went to Albuquerque. I got offered a job with Wings for Life. And I told you all about how they help families. Well, they got a new program. I'm going to be a job training coordinator. So they are starting Wings Works. And it's a program when people get out of prison. Probably the guys right at the halfway house are going to be able to apply for our program where they'll get paid $13.30 an hour and have 4 months of training on everything from writing a job resume, how to open up a bank account, to finance management, money management, apply for loans, how to get an apartment, application filled out, things like that. And also how to start your own business, how to get grant money for business. And there's a couple businesses that are donating their businesses to Wings for some job therapy training and stuff that I'll be all part of them. One's there's a bicycle shop is donating their whole business. There's a clay, I want to say not pottery, but ceramics and clay business. Can't remember the name. Anyways, we got a couple businesses that the inmates can work for that have donated their business to Wings, and I'm gonna have all these different trainings. It's all the details are still being put together. This is start next year, I guess the first of the year. And so first thing I'm going to do is train for the job while I'm there, and then they want me to run the place, so run the Wings Works program. Then they want me because they want an inmate, Wings doesn't have anybody on their staff who's actually done time. They have family members, people there, their family members have done time, but they don't have anybody who's done time and went through everything and that they feel is turning their life around and can help others. And that's where they found me, and they believe in me. And sometimes I wonder why, but I guess I'm doing good things on this YouTube channel and helping people. And Ann saw that, and Tom saw that, and people saw that in me. And so now I get to pay it forward. And so now I'm going to go work for a nonprofit. They're also going to allow me to do some federal pretrial services for you guys for free. So you guys all know about RDAP Dan and how I feel about these prison consultants out there. RDAP Dan's one of the good guys. If you have the money, RDAP Dan I would recommend. The other guys, especially that white collar advice, Justin Paperny, give him 10 grand. Anyways, these places help you out with letters to the judge and reference letters and how to fill out your pre-sentence report. And they say they want to get you an RDAP, and they counsel you, and they maybe help you out with your sentencing guidelines. And they do things. They end up charging 10 grand. Well, we are going to be able to do it for free for you. Tom's going to be part of this. And so Ann's working on getting a grant so we can just give you all these services for free instead of calling these prison consultants and paying money. So, we want to do it for free for you guys. So I told you guys I don't ever want to be a prison consultant because I don't want to charge you money. But if I can provide the services for free, that's different. So one of the projects I'll be working on in the Wings is helping you guys with the letters to the judge and your pre-sentence report and some counseling and guidance and answering your questions and try to get you in some programs and all that stuff for free. So put out all those prison consultants, goodbye to your profits, because Wings for Life is going to provide all that stuff for free. So you don't have to, you don't have to pay the guys 10 grand anymore. You can come to Wings for Life. So we're going to be there for you. So also, I mean, talk about designations. Right now, we're only out of New Mexico, but you can always ask for a transfer when you're in prison they'll let you be released anywhere in the country. My case manager said, yeah, you want to go to New York and start your life over. And the reason is there's lots of jobs in New York. He goes, I'll send you to the halfway house in New York. But you only get to ask once. He says, you can't change your mind. Once I submit the paperwork, that's it. You're going to New York. So if you did want to come to New Mexico and go through the halfway house there, Wings for Life can help you out. Get you right on with this Wings Wings Works project. $13.30 an hour. It's not a lot of money, but in New Mexico, apartments are only $600 a month. So we could get you going, and you won't be left high and dry. And from this job, from here, we're going to find you jobs. So Tom is also volunteering with Wings for Life, and his project is getting inmates jobs for $20 and $30 an hour. And he's got a lot of companies and people he's been networking with, and that's all in the works. So there's a lot of help for you guys when you get out of prison. Right now, it's only going to be in Albuquerque area, so you could always transfer to Albuquerque from your prison if you have nowhere else to go. I know a lot of you guys have families and all that, so the last thing you want to do is leave them high and dry and go to Albuquerque. But if you're all alone out there in the world, going to prison, you got nowhere to go when you get out. You can come to us with Wings for Life and me, and I'll be there, and a whole bunch of other people that you're going to see on my channel, and we'll be there for you. There's somewhere to go when you get out of prison. Now, you don't have to be alone in the world. Extreme Weather Videos, thank you. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you very much. $9 super chat. Thank you very much. God bless you. Adam is in the room, and he says, much appreciated. Been on pretrial since March, and your channel definitely helps with some of the anxiety. You're the man. Adam, I don't know if you just got on. Next Sunday at 4 p.m., I'm doing Pretrial Anonymous on Zoom. It's going to be a 12-step support group for people just like you going through it. Some of us who've already been through pretrial and went to prison and all that, and we're out. We're going to be there too. So it's if you want to come, it's going to be every Sunday at 4 o'clock California time. So if you want the link to the Zoom ID, because I don't want to put it on here, because this goes on YouTube and I don't want it full of trolls. So email me, text me, call me, and I will give you the Zoom ID number. And hopefully you can make it next Sunday at 4 o'clock. It'll be our first one. Tom's our speaker for 10 or 15 minutes. Tom will tell you his experience, strength, and hopes with being on pretrial for a few years and how he made it through and went to prison and he got out and now he's off probation. And then we'll open it up for discussion, and it's going to be your meeting, guys. This will be a support group, and you can have your family come on there. You can keep it anonymous. You can put a picture of a kitty or a dog or whatever you want, or you can have your face on the video, just like a Zoom meeting. It's going to be up to you. If you want to have your real name or your not name, you don't have to, but it's going to be people just like you going through this. And I'm just going to be the facilitator. And it's your meeting, guys, your meeting. So this is help for you guys, Pretrial Anonymous, something new we're trying out. So Adam, hopefully you can do, not tomorrow, next Sunday. And I'm going to be putting up posts on my YouTube all week long, YouTube shorts. I started doing a bunch of YouTube shorts last week, and I have people watching. So Adam, I'm hoping you can make it next Sunday at 4 p.m. And I'll give you the Zoom ID. I'll put my number up here again one more time for people. But my number's on all the end of my videos, underneath my videos. There's emails. If you go underneath any of my videos, the description, hit the show more thing, and it opens up. And there's all kinds of links to free services, to how to write letters to the judge and what to say to the judge, and how to get into RDAP for free, and how to send money to inmates, and how the phone calls work. And I got all kinds of free links and resources under my description. They only let me have 1,000, I think it's 1,000 or 10,000 words. And my descriptions are filled up. I can't put any more resources on there. It's too full. But anyways, there is all kinds of stuff on there. Matthew says, hey, Sean, By the way, really enjoyed the prison art stuff in Ann's office. Oh, thank you, Matt. Thank you. I got another video with nobody talking, or just took pictures of the art, and I found another room that I didn't show in the first one full of art, and that's so I'm going to do a reel. Tomorrow I'll have time with just some music playing in the background and nothing, just a camera going around showing all the inmate art with some music, nobody talking. So I'll have that one on there tomorrow. I got some more. I got a bunch of video I took from Albuquerque. I have not done putting up videos. I got a whole thing on the Wings Works project too. One of the companies that is donating their all their facilities to Wings. I got videos on all that. I just haven't got them edited yet, but stuff's going up. Stuff's coming up. Yep. How we doing? It's been about an hour, guys. So I was only going to be on here for an hour. Let's see. If you got any last questions, please let me know. What else did I not cover today? Oh, I'm going to do another video on this one. White privilege in prison. My eyes were opened up by my friend in Albuquerque who's not white and told me how easy we had it and how hard that they actually had it because he was a gang member. And I didn't know in my camp, I knew the Pisons were, like a kind of a gang, but I didn't know it's actually more dangerous than I thought at a camp. And I can't tell you the things he told me that were going on there because I never looked. I never, I just stayed out of the way. You know what I mean? There was times in the TV room and I knew they were having their meetings and they were all covered and they'd all stand against the window. And he, I kind of found out what happens in those rooms. I can't tell you guys, but the camps are, if you're a Hispanic person going to a camp, yeah, it might be a little rough for you, man. It might be a little rough. There are gangs in the camp. And I found out it's so secretive that us white guys hadn't a clue because we don't have the white people. We're just running around like it's Disneyland. We didn't. So there's some white privilege going on in the prison camps. Even the guards treated us a little different. So I got to admit that. And I'll do another video on that one later. Tom says, good job, Sean. Thank you, Tom. And MCSE, thanks, man. Have a great one day at a time. You two keep coming back. It works. All right, guys. I'll see you next video. Remember, Pretrial Anonymous next Sunday. Email me. Subscribe and like the video. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks, guys.